की जय। जय। हाँ ये भी तो है ऐसे ठीक है ना। ज़ोंबी में बनने के लिए सिखाना ऐसे नहीं कि जैसे खड़े रहोगे आप बोलना चाहिए तो बताना ठीक है। संसारदा
Jai highest daughter of Satyashishi, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Skanvan Acharya Shri Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Anantakota Vaishnava Vrinda Ki
Jai.
Ramacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki
Jai.
Renzikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki
Jai.
Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Chamakund Radhikund Giri Govardhana Ki
Jai.
Vrindavan Dham Ki
Jai.
Jaipur Dham Ki
Jai.
Jagannath Puri Dham Ki
Jai.
Jamuna Mai Ki
Jai.
Ganga Mai Ki
Jai.
Tulsi Devi Ki
Jai.
Bhakti Devi Ki
Jai.
Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda Ki
Jai.
Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki
Jai.
Rihat Madanga Transcendental Bhakti Siddhi Ki
Jai.
Christmas Marathon for Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Go Premanande
Jai.
All glories to the assembled devotees
Krishna.
All glories to the assembled
Hare
devotees
Krishna.
All glories to the assembled
Hare
devotees
Krishna.
Glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga
Vivo.
Hare Krishna, we all can be seated for Narasimha prayers. And thank you everyone for joining this morning program. We will be having this every Sunday. Kindly come every Sunday. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
भक्ति विघ्न विनाशक लक्ष्मीपति श्री नृसिंहदेव भगवान की भक्त शिरोमणि श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की गौर प्रेमानंदे।
Vrindaye Tulsi Bhakti Sukha Vishnu Bhakti Pari Devi Satchivat Namo Namaha Vrindaye Tulsi Bhakti Sukha Vishnu Bhakti Pari Devi Satchivat Namo Namaha Vrindaye Tulsi Vrindaye Tulsi Devai Priye Krishna Vasacha Vishnu Bhakti Pari Devi Satchivat Namo Namaha Vrindaye Tulsi Devai Priye Krishna Vasacha Vishnu Bhakti Pari Devi Satchivat Namo Namaha Tulsi Maharani ki Jai.
तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवश्च विष्णु भक्ति पदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः। वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवश्च विष्णु भक्ति पदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः। वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवश्च विष्णु भक्ति पद देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः। श्री तुलसी महारानी की जय।
So we can all stand up for Guru Puja now. Stand by your shrine. कर दो
हरे कृष्णा श्री गुरु चरण
Namo
Maha's Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Nanda Vaishnava Vrinda ki
Jai.
Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Vivo.
Glory to the assembled.
Hare Krishna.
Glory to the assembled.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled.
Hare Krishna.
Glories to Shri Guru and Gaura.
Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. So now we'll have 6 ashtakam, the 10 offenses. Then 7 to 7:30 we'll have chanting session together, and then 7:30 to 8:15 Bhagavatam class. Shri Shri Chaitanya 6 ashtakam ki Jai. Darpanam Bhava Mahadava Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahudhaniti Sarva Shakti Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Ekadishi Kripa Bhagavan Namapi Durgadevam Vishlisham Nijajaninanuradha Triyadapi Sunichena Tadorapi Sahishuna Amanina Manatena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadaram Najaram Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadishatavale Mahajanmani Janmanishware Bhavatat Bhaktirahayatu Gitvayi Ainandatanuja Kinkaram Patikama Vishme Bhavamudo Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Siddhaduri Satrisham Vichintaya Nayanam Garadashudharaya Vanadam Gadagadaravaya Udite Nishtam Bhavukara Tavanam Grahane Bhavishyati Yugaitam Nimeshena Chakshusha Pravishaitam Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Ashishya Vavadhanam Vinashkumam Adarshanam Marmahatam Karotuva Yata Tata Vavidhakulam Pato Mataprananastastu Sarevanampara Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The 10 offenses to the holy names of the Lord. First, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy names of the Lord. Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the names of the Lord Vishnu. Third, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Fourth, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptural incursions to the Vedic version. Fifth, to consider the throwing of chanting in the direction of clear imagination. Sixth, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Seventh, to comments and activities on the strength of the holy name. Eighth, to consider the church of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as spiritual activities. 9. To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name. And 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions of this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive by chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prabhu. Let us offer our humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire fulfilling trees who can fulfill all desires and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhishcha kripasindhubhyacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Shri Das Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna.
We still have 2 minutes, so we can pray to Shri Shri Panchatattva for Shama Mataji. Today is her birthday. We can just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra together, so that she will be more into service of Shri Shri Panchatattva. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we chanted 3 times for those as well whose birthday, anniversary or any special day went in last 1 week. Yeah, and I would like to recite one prayer which is given by our ISKCON communication team to pray for the devotees and temple of Bangladesh. So we can recite those prayers after me. I'm just taking out that.
Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai. So, yeah. Sorry, just 1 more minute. We can say, Dear Lord Krishna, Dear Lord Chaitanya, Dear Shri Shri Panchatattva, Dear Shri Shri Radha Govinda Dev Ji, kindly bless and protect all the devotees and other religious minorities in Bangladesh. May the current social tensions be peacefully resolved and may lasting harmony be established in the land of Bangladesh. So we will be chanting more for Bangladesh during the day in Sunday Love Feast program. So we all can join again. It has been recommended by ISKCON communication team to dedicate our today's Sunday program and Kirtan to the devotees of Bangladesh and ISKCON movement in Bangladesh. So kindly pray from your side as well and encourage others to pray for all of them, all the devotees who are struggling there, all the respective management who are struggling there, to keep ISKCON going. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So now we can sit in circle or a group. Mataji is one side, Prabhuji is one side, and can chant together Hare Krishna.
प्रभु जी बोल वो सरफ आ जाइए 16 माला नहीं करनी थी 4 करनी थी बस
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 एक हो गए हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
मैसेज डाल दो या स्टार्टिंग भागवत में क्लास जॉइन प्लीज जॉइन
सही से बुला दिया
पहले रखते हो अगर लोगों से बात नहीं करेंगे हमारा नीचे का तो वो वालों का
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम Bye. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Vaishnava ki Jai, Ramacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai, Kantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Go Premanande, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga.
घुमा दो, उधर से ढीला करो और घुमा के उस तरफ को।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, text number 17. Questions by the sages. Can everyone follow from their phone? I'll just do.
Just 1 minute more, just one.
Yeah.
117.
117.
117.
Yeah. We don't need that. The Maharaj on the board anymore. Everyone's got the. Tasya karmani udarani.
Tasya karmani udarani.
Parigitani suribi.
Parigitani suribi.
Ruhina shadadananam.
Ruhina shadhananam.
Lilaya dadhata kala.
Lilaya dadata kala.
Tasya karmani udarani.
Tasya karmani udarani.
Parigitani suribi.
Parigitani suribi.
Ruhina shadadananam.
Ruhina shadhananam.
Lilaya dadhata kala.
Lilaya dadata kala.
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
परिगीतानि श्रीभिः
परिगीतानि सूरिभिः
ब्रूहिणा श्रद्धनानानां
ब्रूहिणा शब्दनानानां
लीलया ददता कलः
लीलया ददता कला
तस्य कर्माण्युदाराणि
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
परिगीतानि सूरिभिः
परिगीतानि सूरिभिः
गृहीणा श्रद्दधानानां
ब्रूहिणा शब्दनानानां
लीलया ददतः कला
लीलया ददता कला
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
परिगीतानि सुरीभिः
परिगीतानि सूरिभिः
ब्रूहिणा श्रद्धधानानां
ब्रूहिणा शब्दनानानां
लीलाय ददतः कला
लीलया ददता कला
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
परिगीतानि सूरिभिः
परिगीतानि सूरिभिः
ब्रूहिणा शब्दनानानां
ब्रूहिणा शब्दनानानां
लीलया ददतः कलः
लीलया ददता कला
Tasya
his
karmani transcendental acts udarani magnanimous parigitani broadcast suribi by the great soul Ruhi please speak now unto us Shadadananam ready to receive with respect Lilaya pastimes Dadata invented Kalaha incarnations Translation. His transcendental acts are magnificent and gracious, and great learned sages like Narada sing of them. Please, therefore, speak to us who are eager to hear about the adventures he performs in his various incarnations. Purport. The personality of Godhead is never inactive, as some less intelligent persons suggest. His works are magnificent and magnanimous. His creations, both material and spiritual, are all wonderful and contain all variegatedness. They are described nicely by such liberated souls as Srila Narada, Vyas, Valmiki, Devala, Asita, and Madhva, Sri Chaitanya, Ramanuja, Vishnuvalmi, Nimbarka, Sridhar, Vishwanath, Baladev, Bhaktivinoda, Siddhanta Saraswati, and many other learned and self-realized souls. These creations, both material and spiritual, are full of opulence, beauty, and knowledge. But the spiritual realm is more magnificent due to its being full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. The material creations are manifested for some times as perverted shadows of the spiritual kingdom and can be likened to cinemas. They attract people of less intelligent caliber who are attracted by false things. Such foolish men have no information of the reality, and they take it for granted that the false material manifestation is the all in all. But more intelligent men, guided by sages like Vyas and Narada, know that the eternal kingdom of God is more delightful, larger, and eternally full of bliss and knowledge. Those who are not conversant with the activities of the Lord and his transcendental realm are sometimes favored by the Lord in his adventures as incarnations, wherein he displays his eternal bliss, the eternal bliss of his association in the transcendental realm. By such activities, he attracts the conditioned souls of the material world. Some of these conditioned souls are engaged in the false enjoyment of material senses, and others in simply negating their real life in the spiritual world. These less intelligent persons are known as karmis or fruit workers, and jnanis or trimental speculators. But above these two classes of men is the transcendentalist known as the sattvatas, or the devotee, who is busy neither with rampant material activity nor with material speculation. He is engaged in the positive service of the Lord, and thereby he derives the highest spiritual benefit unknown to the karmis and jnanis. As the supreme controller of both the material and spiritual worlds, the Lord has different incarnations of unlimited categories. Incarnations like Brahma, Rudra, Manu, Prithu, and Vyas are his material qualitative incarnations, but his incarnations like Rama, Narsimha, Varaha, and Vamana are his transcendental incarnations. Lord Sri Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations, and he is therefore the cause of all causes. Amagina Tinanasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshuramitamaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishnam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Guruvadaya Yadati Swampadantikam Namo Vishnu Guraya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanaya Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashate Vishatane. So thank everybody for coming here today, the first of many Sundays for eternity. We will keep on coming here, and until we maybe get another place as well. We will keep coming here, and it's a great pleasure to be, and a great honor basically to be among all of you devotees. And I'm very happy that the fact that we are speaking, where we're talking from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and long may it continue. May we be always speaking the Bhagavatam, because Srila Prabhupada, he set up these centers with this in mind, for the transcendental glorification of their lordships, Sri Sri Panchatattva and other lordships as well.
Okay.
You have to get some oil on the seat. But anyway, so and also for hearing the messages of the Bhagavatam, because we know that Srila Prabhupada has given so much of his life so that we could speak this Bhagavatam and hear this Bhagavatam. You know, so many years later, 40 something years, I remember when I heard Bhagavatam first over in Trinity College, from the person who later became my spiritual master. It just had such a profound effect. I've been studying philosophy for such a long time, you know, for 2-3 years, and before that for many years, and nothing ever hit me the same way as when I heard Bhagavatam. It completely transported me to another realm, basically. And I wasn't even going to a Hare Krishna event. I was actually just going to, which is a talk on truth. And the previous week there had been a talk on truth as well, so I went to that one too. So this week was a talk on truth, and there was just happened to be all these Hare Krishnas jumping and dancing, and you know, and eventually somehow or other I started to jump and dance as well, you know, out of the blue, wasn't expecting it. And then at the end, of course, we had some prasadam, and later then we had the Sunday feast. And quite interestingly, at the Sunday feast, there was a whole lot of devotees getting initiated, and it was an absolutely surreal experience. You know, it was this room probably about the size of this, and lots and lots of incense. There was a whole TV cameras there as well. There was from Aarti, which was here doing a whole show about this, and then I saw all these young men coming out, all shaved head, and there was this incense going everywhere. And these absolutely, I thought they were from another planet, basically. Just these pure devotees that I had just seen, and I couldn't believe. And somehow or other, I felt as if I was being kind of I was in the same category. I was being brought along in this whole adventure, and it was very, very exciting actually. And but then that was in 1982. 1993. I had been 6 months in the movement, and I was hoping to get initiated. I was really looking forward to it, and it was that the deities of Radha Madhava were being installed in a temple in Temple Oak in Knocklion Road, and but then I got the sad news that I wasn't ready yet, you know, and some of my other people were getting initiated, and I was really disappointed and whatever, but. But it was a good lesson. It was a very good lesson in humility, because you know, as a university student, I thought, well, you know, I'm a pretty good guy and whatever. But no, I wasn't. I wasn't allowed in, you know. And anyway, I had to wait for another year, and that was in Belfast when Radha Madhava had been moved to Belfast, and so. But my spiritual master then gave me initiation there in 1984. So it was a long wait, but it was well worth it. But that's the reason I'm saying that is because of this particular purport. It speaks about many levels. You know, the last one, and this is like the whole essence of the Bhagavatam is in the last sentence when it says that Lord Sri Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations, and he is therefore the cause of all causes. Ishvara Parama Krishna. And also the whole Bhagavatam, it's incredible. It's based on a couple of lines, not even one verse. You know, one major verse. Ete Chamsa Kala Krishna Krishna Excellent, that's right. That it's like the it's, you know, when you have a darkness in a room, and then but you just have one little switch and there's one light bulb, and then the whole room is lit up. So this verse is like the verse which lights up the whole Siddhanta of the Krishna consciousness movement, because it explains that Krishna is the source of everything. He's the fountainhead. He's from which all the other incarnations emanate, and the whole Krishna consciousness philosophy is based on that. I just want to just continue with that for a second, because just towards the other end here, there's two types of incarnations that are mentioned. Now, without looking at the text, can anyone remember what the two types are?
Material and spiritual.
Yes, very good. And obviously, it's not actually material, but that's the way Prabhupada puts it here. He says that incarnations like Brahma, Rudra, Manu, Prithu, and Vyas are as material qualitative incarnations. So Krishna empowers those incarnations. And then it's quite interesting because those particular people, Lord Brahma, continuously crop up throughout the whole Bhagavatam. They're always there. There's so many different instances. Maybe I'll ask a few instances. Does anybody know where Brahma appears in the Bhagavatam? Tell me something. Yes, that's the one. That's where Brahma is illusioned, and he takes the cowherd boys and hides them. And then he comes back and then he sees that they're still there, and then he goes back and checks again. And so he's completely illusioned, basically. And eventually he comes and he pays his obeisances to Krishna, and Krishna kind of almost, barely recognizes him, but because he comes with, who does he come with? To try to placate Krishna? He comes with Surabhi. As in Indra, sorry, yes, sorry. But in the 14th chapter, he bows his head to Krishna, or his foreheads, and it's a very very powerful time. But Brahma also appears on many occasions in the Bhagavatam. One time when he came to instruct
First chapter.
Yeah, in Narad Muni, yeah, exactly. I'm thinking of another time when he comes, I don't want to get too esoteric into all these stories, but he comes as, let me just think now, Maharaj Priyavrata, because Priyavrata, he wanted to remain a brahmachari, and but his father, and Narada, of course, came and said, yes, this is a great idea, you should stay brahmachari. Yeah, there's no need to get married, just stay brahmachari, and he was very, very happy. But then his father was Swayambhuva Manu, and Swayambhuva Manu wanted him to actually create, because that was the whole idea there. He was meant to be the king, so he was meant to be the next ruler. But then they had to wait until Brahma came, and Brahma came and adjudicated and says, no, this is the most important thing, you must do this. And so then he placated, then he went along with the whole thing, and he became the great king Maharaj Priyavrata. So Bhagavatam is full of they're just Lord Brahma. Then if you go into Vyasadeva, there's so many other stories about who Vyasadeva is, what he did, which is very, very, very powerful. There's King Prithu. King Prithu came and he basically he divided even the worlds. Basically, he was an incarnation a Shaktives avatar who came after there was a horrible king before him called King Vena, and King Vena practically destroyed the planet, destroyed all the Brahminical qualities, and then the sages did an incredible thing. So is everybody waiting to hear what they did? They churned the body of the sage, of the king Vena, and from that body three people came. One was Nishada, the king of the Nishadas. Then came was it Prithu came first or Archie? Prithu came first, and then Archie, his wife, came. So just sort of think about that for a second. I mean, you won't see that in the newspapers this morning when they're giving the various news. That did you hear what happened? the Nishada king came first of all, and then came King Prithu. That's when they churned the body of King Vena. So these are incredible histories of our of this world. They're incredible. We, with our tiny Kali Yuga brain, can hardly get our heads around it. But we are so fortunate that these stories are there. And they're such important stories, because what they do is they purify our Kali Yuga existence and give us a chance actually to regain our spiritual quality. It's so beautiful listening to the Chikshastika prayers this morning. You know, it's such a nice thing. Nam Namakari Bahujan Nijasavashanti. And then, of course, the first verse, Chaita Dharma Marginum, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated from many, many lifetimes. So the Bhagavatam is very much the same way. It cleanses and cleanses the heart. And the Bhagavatam is also, it's such a powerful explanation of who Krishna is. See, this purport is actually, it contains the whole of the spiritual world, the whole of the spiritual dimension, because it tells us about all the incarnations of Krishna. It tells us about the Shaktivesha avatars, but then it tells us about the beautiful incarnations here. Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha, and Vamana. These are all the transcendental incarnations. So this gives us an understanding of who God is, you know. It tells us what are his potencies. It gives us an incredible understanding of the vastness of God. It also gives us a little understanding of our tininess as well, which is also important. But eventually it comes to the 10th canto where it tells us about Krishna. And I believe our wonderful speaker here today is going to give us a little bit more about at the class. What's the title? Gopis and Manjari. So we're going to get a very elevated talk today.
Yeah.
But the point being is that we can understand all of these things and we can understand the greatness of Krishna by going through all the other incarnations and seeing their potencies as well. This is so vital, and it's so important that we take each part as we go along. That's why Prabhupada, he wanted to do a verse every day, but you will never get through the whole Bhagavatam in your lifetime if you just do a verse every day, practically. I'm not sure the exact mathematics of it, but it's 18,000 verses and 18,000 days. You'll get through it just about, every 6 years, is it? 5 or 6 years, whatever. That's if you do it every day. So, but
50 years.
Yeah, 50, that's okay.
Is anyone here who is left with 50 years of age? I'm not sure.
Yeah. So the point is that, and I can give a little bit of advice. I mean, I've been practicing it for a few years. The little bit of advice I give you is this: read Bhagavatam every day, and not just one verse, but read more. Try to do a chapter a day. It's considered that if you do 40 pages of a day, you will read the Bhagavatam in 1 year. Yeah. Well, that's incredible. 40 pages a day. Now you may not be able to get 40 pages a day, but what I did is I did 20 pages a day, and that meant that I was able to, every 2 years I could read Bhagavatam. And then also it's also good to, even if you just want to read the translations, so you get a good understanding of what it's about, so you kind of understand what's happening. Because it's great to be able to take a back picture, because there's so many things that are going on in the Bhagavatam that you'll get much more in, pleasure, relish, when you can see that that there's many things happening sometimes at once. Like, for instance, to have that overall picture that eventually that's leading to the 10th canto, that all these other incarnations are leading up to understanding how great Krishna is. Because otherwise you can say, oh no, yeah, I know Krishna, he's a little boy, he plays and so on, and everything is fine. And yet, on the street, sometimes you see, oh yes, I know Krishna, And but to know Krishna, you need to study every day for an hour, preferably. That's how you can get to know Krishna. Because, one of my spiritual mentors was giving a talk in Govardhan this year. And one of the things he was talking about was the time that it takes to actually get to understand who God is, who Krishna is. And the example he was giving us, I can give two examples. One is of Akrura. Now Akrura is a kind of a slightly controversial figure in a sense, but his prayers are considered to be the most wonderful prayers. And he wanted to see Krishna, but what did he have to do? He had to live in the kingdom of Kamsa. Is anybody here living in the kingdom of Kamsa? I think we're kind of living in that kingdom at the moment.
Yes.
He had to go through so many austerities, to hear about Krishna being blasphemed and so on, that all these demons were beset from the place where he was living. But eventually, he became purified enough to see Krishna. Also, another wonderful devotee is Devaki. Look at all the difficulties that Devaki had to go through to see Krishna. So many of her children were taken in front of her, were killed. So it's just to give you some example that understanding Krishna isn't a simple thing. It is a very, very heartfelt thing that we do have to work hard on. Like, for instance, do we have to chant 16 rounds every day? We have to follow the four Regulative principles, and we have to, there's so many things that we need to be able to develop in our lives, so that we can become qualified to understand Krishna. In the purport, it was said there that the material creations. These creations, both material. They attract people of the material creations are manifested for some time as perverted shadows of the spiritual kingdom, and they can be likened to cinemas. They attract people of less intelligent caliber who are attracted by false things. That's us. That's who we are. We're the people, the less intelligent people who are attracted by the cinemas. This is what happened. We somehow arrived here. What are we doing here? This is a crazy place. And we're being told about it all the time, that this is a completely insane place, basically. And so we have to make the best use of a bad bargain. We have to become creatures of Krishna consciousness, just like we were yesterday. We were out on the street and we were smiling at everybody, and here, take a book. I never seen so many books going out at once. 159 Bhagavad Gitas and then the material world then becomes a spiritual world when we do things like that, and we become dragged along into the spiritual world. It's such a nectar activity, it's such a wonderful activity. But that is another part of the compassion of the devotees, and that is somehow or other we've been lucky to be, for myself, dragged into this movement in that sense, which is a movement of compassion. The compassion is of many levels. The levels the compassion is to us as well. We have been shown great compassion. So therefore we need to also show that compassion to others as well. And the compassion is that we're exposed to this philosophy, but also that we're exposed to devotees as well. The association of devotees is the most valuable thing. It is, we cannot really do this on our own. We cannot actually make this move. Because we're too likely to be distracted, and because the whole spiritual world is full of loving relationships. That is the difference that is there in the spiritual world, and this is what we have to try to make into the material world, into the sangha of devotees. It is naturally there, because we all have this loving propensity, and somehow or other Krishna has brought us here. But we have to also remember that there is the strains of the material world are always knocking at the door, trying to get in there. The material world is always trying to create disharmony. Unbelievable disharmony, but that's the nature of the material world. We should always be conscious of that. We should be careful of that. But this, it's actually quite amazing when we're on the street. We can present a very, very nice front in that sense, because we're joyful. But we have to be able to sustain that over a longer time. And people in this world, they're so used to being disappointed. They've got so many experiences whereby, they just do not really, they cannot achieve that, that fulfillment, which is there, and which is there in its highest degree in Krishna consciousness. But it being there is one thing, but us actually practicing it is another thing. And that's where the shadow and the realities are constantly kind of there. That is where we're constantly being tested in Krishna consciousness. And that's a glorious test, because one of my mentors used to always say, well, look, you'll be tested by fire. He used to say that. And I was always kind of wondering, what was this about? But actually, as I went on, I could understand, because we could see, like we saw Devaki, we saw Akrura, and also we see Sita. All this test is there, and it's very important for us to do that, or to go through that. But it is glorious as well. These tests are actually glorious. There's so much energy that is there in these tests, actually. So that and they do purify us. Just like when I didn't get initiated for the first time, that was quite a purification for me. It was very early on, but it actually shaped. It gave shape to my Krishna consciousness. There's so many different ways in Krishna consciousness that we have to undergo tests, but then be very compassionate as well. Sometimes it's to be compassionate. Some Krishna's, it's not a bed of roses, like birth, death, disease, and old age. These are not pretty. These aren't pretty. But this is what we all undergo. We all undergo these things. So Krishna is doing this thing. He's the most merciful. He's the most loving. Because that's what's going to come out in the 10th canto. Krishna's incredible loving exchanges. But then Krishna's also come as Lord Nrsimhadev, and he smashes the demon. So who's that demon? And where does Hiranyakashipu live?
No hearts.
There are hearts. So this is Krishna. These are the different aspects of Krishna. Vamanadev, he comes and he gives Bali Maharaj a really hard time. Bali Maharaj has given him everything. He's given him the universes. It's not just he gave him a few pence in the donation box. He gave him the whole universes. And then what happened? He says, tie him up. This man is a liar. He told me he'd give me 3 steps and he only gave me 2. Tie him up. And he was embarrassed in front of everybody. He was the king of the universe. And what happened? He was tied up in a snake rope, and then he was. But this is what he had to go through, and he willingly went through it. He had to renounce his spiritual master, even, who was, of course, Sukracharya was telling him to do this, but don't surrender to Vishnu. So it was. These are the kind of the things which we may have to go through, but they're glorious. They're glorious. It's the most nectar thing that you can experience. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada, he was constantly in bliss, and with all the austerities that he went through, and that's the nature of compassion. That is the nature of compassion, actually, that we can empathize with other people who just like before I became a devotee, I came by the route of somewhat of knowledge, but also suffering. I couldn't understand why there was so much suffering in myself. I wasn't worried about anybody else. I was just wondering, why is this so hard? I thought life was so nice, so easy. I was having a great time, and then suddenly, all these difficulties came, mental, physical, so many difficulties that are there. And I was lucky. I kept on looking for Krishna. That's why I'm thinking that that we as a group we need to develop that compassion. Also for ourselves, sometimes we can also be very hard on ourselves. Why am I not this? I should have been this. I want to be this, but I'm not. We should also be very realistic, because as I said to you about sometimes these things take a while. So we have to be tolerant of ourselves sometimes. That we're not, you know, like basically in the first year I was thinking I was a pure devotee, you know, pure devotee syndrome. You know, after you know, at the very beginning I thought, wow, you know, this is it, and these people aren't doing this. This person's been on for a while, but I don't see him doing that, and he didn't do that, and well, I'm doing that. And then after a while, I became the person that the next person was talking about, that wasn't doing all these things. Do you know what I mean? Like, so these are just little kind of tests, as I was saying, but we have to have some compassion for ourselves, and in that way then we will be able to empathize with other people as well, because other people will go through difficulties and we need to be there for them too. So we need to be there in a loving way, in an instructive way, and in a way that can help people get a balance between being strict on ourselves but lenient with others. I better stop there because we're going to stop it. Is there any comments? Anyone like to add anything? Ask anything? Anything that's stuck anybody there? Okay, well I'm not going to let you away that easy.
Just thank you, Prabhuji, for your class. Just wanted to like add one more thing which was coming in my mind when you were giving 3 examples of Akrud Maharaj and Sita Mata and Devaki mother. So I was getting the example of Kunti Maharani as well. The Pandavas and Kunti who always got, you know, hard times and issues and challenges, problems and everything, but still they were asking for more so that they can be around Krishna and Krishna can be around them. So yeah, like it can be relatable that when challenges comes, Krishna also comes with that.
Yeah.
Just behind the challenges,
That's right,
just to see whether we are doing it
So
and dealing with
important.
them properly or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that examples also came just with all these 3 names.
Yeah, I mean the bliss is there. I mean, like we can see in the Krishna consciousness. This morning program was blissful, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So many blissful parts, and just dancing and chanting. And, yeah, and the guys, four guys doing the stuff. That's great. Because Tanchu's always there. The culprit starts it all.
We need the high roof
Yeah.
for him.
Next,
That's why I'm trying to new temple.
Yes.
We should pray hard.
We will get. Yeah. So the bliss is there, but as Prabhu says here, it's like it's kind of like with friends like Krishna, you know, because these are Krishna's best friends, and there's so many chapters there in the first canto about that. You're saying that, you know, Krishna, these are the things that we have to go through, but still Krishna's there with us in those times. It's purifying our eyes. Amagyanati Marandasya and Shastra Chakshu, seeing through the eyes of scripture. That is the real way to see things, actually. You know, that's why we can say that, and that's why it's not a sadistic society that we want to go through all these difficulties. No, it's blissful society because we're seeing through the eyes of scripture. So yeah, okay. One last comment or any even observation from the purport, anything that struck anybody else? One more. Think deep.
Just would like to get some more understanding on this. Like here, there's a description like about such liberated souls.
Mm-hmm.
So such liberated souls in them, like all of the other are like maybe Shaktavesh Avatar or
Yes.
potency incarnations of Krishna,
Yeah.
but they include Srila Prabhupada included Sri Chaitanya as well.
Right.
So like it is like
Krishna
even
himself.
my mind got stuck here
Yeah.
once,
Yeah.
like even, and maybe what about others, like can we like understand why like even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was considered as liberated soul.
Yeah. By liberate as she.
Yeah, it's in first 8
Sri Chaitanya.
Yeah, Sri Chaitanya as well.
Maybe it was another Sri Chaitanya. No, I'm joking. Try to get out of the bad. Yeah. That was probably, I mean, that he appeared as a hidden incarnation. I think that's he just didn't want to express himself as Krishna. So, for some reason it probably presents it like that. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe because he also appeared in our disciplic succession
Yeah,
as
exactly.
as a
Yeah,
guru to establish.
that's right.
Yeah.
Because all the others are in the disciplic succession as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madhvacharya, Nimbarkacharya, Valmiki, Devala. Yeah.
Devika and Asita, of course, they are prior to our disciplic succession.
Yeah.
Yeah, prior, but yeah, still they are like
Asita,
sages.
Yeah.
Baladev Vidya Bhushan. Yeah.
Yeah. Shri Chaitanya Ramanuja, Vishnavani Nabarka, Sridhar, Vishwanath Baladev, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Saraswati. Yeah, these are all incredible devotees in the disciplic line. Yeah. You just, even just by saying their names, you become purified, you know. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, wow. You know, it's just amazing. Yeah. So it's incredible. Prabhupada, in one purport, our whole philosophy is in there. You could spend your whole life just on that one purport, actually. Okay, we'll stop there. We've only got a few minutes, so. Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai. Krishna Prabhu ki
Jai.